Laser sights are an essential firearms training tool, clearly correcting and improving the two most important shooting fundamentals, aiming and trigger control. Crimson Trace, making laser sights standard equipment. Learn more at crimsontrace.com.
Number one national voice in defense of your Second Amendment rights. Gun Talk, available on iTunes and on the free Gun Dealio smartphone app for Android and iPhone. To be on the air with Tom, call us now, 866-825-5486 or 1-TOM-TALK-GUN. Now, here's Tom.
All right, we are back and we are still talking about guns. Well, that's what we do around here. I'm Tom Gresham. Our number is 866-TALK-GUN or just dial Tom Talk Gun. Pretty darn easy. By the way, you can follow me on Twitter. I am at Gun Talk. Be sure to go over and like our Facebook page. Look for Gun Talk Media. And you can see our TV shows now. We are uploading them. They're on, YouTube, Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. We have channels on all of those. So lots of ways to see what we're up to. And if you want to see what we're doing behind the scenes on these TV shoots, because it's some pretty funny stuff, you can follow our Instagram account. Lots of fun stuff out there. There are always new things in guns, it seems like. And just when you think you've seen it all, something comes along, you go, well, by golly, that's different. Joining me to talk about that and some other stuff is my friend Dave Miles from Mossberg. How's the hunting going, David?
Hey, Tom, it's great. Well, actually, yesterday would have been a great day to be hunting while I was fishing. I was down at the far east end of Fisher's Island, and I was surrounded by probably 2,000 eiders. And
oh, my gosh.
Why'd I bring a fishing pole instead of a shotgun? But
eiders? Now, have you ever shot an eider?
I had not. I keep my boat out in eastern Connecticut and was out fishing there. But, boy, there were a lot of them out. So
if I got an eider, I would have that.
I was in New York water.
I would have that mounted if I ever got an eider. That would be so cool to get a mount.
Oh, yeah, they're beautiful. Amazing.
Yeah,
so,
holy cow.
Cool.
And there you are with a fishing rod in your hand.
There I was, catching, I guess I've got 2 more weekends before I have to drive the boat up the river and put it up. So I was catching some tautog, which are pretty tasty little critters. And out with a friend of mine from Mossberg, actually. So.
Oh, excellent. And that's the whole thing. We like doing the outdoor things, and sometimes it's hunting, sometimes it's fishing, or it's the other stuff. I was talking earlier, I said, we go hunting, but I'm not sure that the critter is the thing we're actually hunting for. It's the experience and all the rest of it put together.
Oh, yeah, it's the memories and the camaraderie, and you make some close friends for life at hunting camp, so it's pretty cool.
It is true. And here's the interesting part of that. I'm glad you mentioned that. You have friends, hunting camp friends, that you may see only once a year, and it's like you can pick it up in the middle of a conversation, like you never went away. Isn't it interesting?
It is. And those memories from those camps are funny too, because you'll never forget them, and they're always something you can joke about. So.
And most of the memories actually don't involve shooting anything. It's about when the truck got stuck, or they set the tent on fire, or whatever the thing was.
Oh yeah, yep. So it's good stuff.
All right, so Mossberg, you guys have, you're doing all sorts of innovative things. Everybody knows the Mossberg name for these fabulous and, legendary shotguns. But you got a thing, I call it, that's not a shotgun. It is a firearm, and it is bizarre to people. I'm sure you have a lot of fun trying to explain this. The 590 Shockwave. All right, well, tell people what it is and why it's not a shotgun and what it actually is.
Okay, well, the Shockwave was something we introduced at the SHOT Show this past year, and it is what you would classify as a pistol grip firearm. It shoots a shot shell, but it's got a pistol grip on it, and a lot of people would think, well, then it's a pistol grip firearms. Everybody's been seeing them forever. We've always had the Cruiser,
right?
But this one has a 14 and 3/8 inch barrel, so it's got a short barrel. So then people go, well, geez, that's in any other weapon. But the difference is that it's over 26 inches in overall length, and so it's just classified as a pistol grip firearm. And
That sounds like a hunting dog back there, as a matter of fact.
On the radio.
That's your hunting dog. I know. I know you. So, all right. So this thing it's not a shotgun. It's not any other weapon. It's not NFA. You don't have to pay the $200 tax, even though it's shorter than 16-inch barrel on a shotgun, or 18-inch barrel on a shotgun.
18. Yep.
Yeah. And so you just go in and buy it like any other firearm.
Yeah, you do, because it's a pistol grip firearm. You'd have to be over 21 years old.
Okay.
And but then it just transfers on a 4473, just like anything else. And so it really kind of took this year. It's a new designation of a firearm, and we were the first to introduce it as a major manufacturer. And everybody wants one, and that's a great thing. They're a lot of fun to shoot. It's actually the Raptor grip that's on it changes the grip angle, and it's actually more comfortable to shoot than a traditional pistol grip.
Oh, I think it's much more comfortable than a cruiser shotgun. I've never been a fan of those, but I can shoot the Shockwave, and it just doesn't feel like it's kicking a whole lot.
Yeah, no, not at all. And so it's a very comfortable gun to shoot, and which makes it pretty cool. And for those that did think it was uncomfortable to shoot, 2 weeks ago at the NASGW show, we launched it in 20 gauge.
Well, I'm a fan of that because I think the 20 gauge is a really good home defense gauge. We've got good loads for it, a little bit less recoil. That is sweet. What's the mag capacity on this?
Our gun holds 5 in the magazine tube and 1 in the chamber, so total
nice.
6 shots. We like to call him the modern day 6-shooter.
There is that. And now for those who are trying to picture this is a fairly short, I would say it's a pump action shotgun, but it's not legally a pump action shotgun. It's another thing. And you have the ATF letter on that. So, I mean, if people are saying, really? You go, no, we actually have the approval of the ATF. But on your website, you note that, check your state regs, because some states, may have a reg that prohibits this.
Yeah, and it's interesting. There are a few states that have a definition in their law. They define what a shotgun is or isn't differently, and so that causes a challenge. Some states have clarified their laws. Good example would be Oregon. For a little while they put a hold while they were investigating it, and then they released it, and now they're shipping and transferring. They weren't approving paperwork for people, and now they are. Texas actually had to do a legislative change, and they changed that September 1st.
Okay.
And so it's kind of, there's some states that need some clarification. I think in North Carolina right now, the way their law is written, it's considered a destructive device. I can't really give people legal advice. I'm not an attorney, and I'm certainly not their attorney, but there are certain states that have issues with the Shockwave based on the way their gun laws are written, and so the best thing to do is to consult your local attorney or even your firearms retailer. Most of them,
the gun store is going to know, or you can check with the state police, for the classification. This is one of those cases where the technology has outstripped the regulations, and they're having to catch up again. Yes,
and so, but the bottom line is that these things are a lot of fun to shoot, and a pretty good. After you spend a few minutes shooting them, some people look askance at them. They're like, "How can you accurately shoot that?" But if you spend some time with the gun, just like any gun, you have to practice to use it.
Sure.
I'd be pretty confident that I'd shoot more accurately at 25 yards than most subcompact 9mm pistols.
Interesting. Now, what's the availability now?
If you look at it that way, it's a pretty easy gun to shoot accurately, and I think I could get most people shooting it accurately that quickly. So.
And you said that these things are flying off the shelves, so are they available? Can people find them?
What's cool is that, the 12 gauges are highly available. When we announced the 20 gauge, we already had 1,500 or so on the shelf ready to ship out to distribution. And so those have shipped, and we're making them every day and shipping them as quickly as we can. Okay. I know that most distributors have them allocated right now, just based on the fact that it's a hugely popular product. And so it may take a month or two before people can actually find them on the retail shelves. We're at Mossberg, we're building them and answering the demand as quickly as we can. So.
Sounds good. It's called the 590 Shockwave, and now it's available in 20 gauge.
Yes, it is. And we're super excited about it. It's been a great product for us. The National Association of Sporting Goods Wholesalers chose Mossberg as the Innovator of the Year based on this, and it was picked as the new product of the year because it's just had such a great results for everybody.
And I can tell you from personal experience, you're right, it is just lots of fun to shoot. You can see more about it at mossberg.com. Hey, Dave, thanks, and next time we talk, I want to report on the duck hunting, man.
All right, I'll give it to you. Thanks, Tom. Take care.
All right, take care. All right, 866-TALK-GUN. Yeah, I've hunted with Dave. He is a serious hunter, I guarantee you. 866-TALK-GUN.
Nosler has been a leader in bullets and ammunition for decades and keeps growing with new product introductions that follow this tradition. Accurate, highly effective bullets and ammo for long-range shooting, precision rifle competition, and big game hunting. To be the first to hear about new product releases and promotions, follow Nosler on Facebook and Instagram and become part of the conversation. You won't settle, and neither will we. Nosler.com.
If you carry a gun, you need training. Your concealed carry class was definitely not training. But time, money, and obligations keep you from spending days at a shooting school. The trusted folks at Gun Talk can help. Concealed Carry 1, our DVD featuring the VADA Group, covers what gun, what holster, how to carry, where to wear your gun, and much more. Visit shopguntalk.com. That's shopguntalk.com. Look, this really is life and death. Learn how to stay aware, how to get away, and how to fight if you must. At shopguntalk.com, you can get the 2 DVD set, including Fighting with the 1911 with Tiger McKee. No matter what gun you carry, this vital training info can save your life. Learn the draw, the stance, reloading, vital gear from Gun Talk. That's shopguntalk.com. shopguntalk.com.
The Springfield Armory SOCOM 16 CQB is a serious package of .308 firepower with a long military background. 10 inches shorter than the standard M1A with a standard 10-round or the optional 20-round magazine. It's a thunderous close-quarters battle rifle that stops, fights, fast. Ghost ring rear and tritium front sights with a 5-position adjustable cheek piece. The SOCOM 16 CQB is ready for anything. Springfield-Armory.com.
Since 1937, Ducks Unlimited has led the charge on wetlands and waterfowl conservation. Wetlands reduce the effects of flooding and recharge our drinking water, but perhaps most importantly, they allow us to experience what makes the outdoors so great. Band together to rescue our wetlands.
Are you looking for a place to shoot? The National Shooting Sports Foundation has a great website called wheretoshoot.org. It's the largest database of shooting ranges on the internet. It's also a great resource for shooters where you can find video tips, printable targets, and a lot more. Find it online at wheretoshoot.org. And while you're there, download their free iPhone app. That's wheretoshoot.org.
There's something about being the big dog, which the NRA certainly is. Everybody else has been doing this for a while, and nobody paid much attention. When the NRA brings out its carry insurance, now we have something going. So, the NRA brought out Carry Guard. That's their insurance for concealed carry. If you get involved in a shooting, you have insurance that covers you if it's a good shoot. Other outfits have had this kind of insurance for years, and nobody paid any attention. But now that it's the NRA doing it, now we have the New York regulators are investigating the NRA for this. New York state financial regulators have launched an investigation into how Carry Guard is being marketed and whether the NRA is illegally receiving commissions without proper licensing. This thing it's administered by Lockton Affinity. Lockton Affinity said in a statement to the Associated Press that it is cooperating fully with the New York Department of Financial Services about Carry Guard insurance. The program is administered by Lockton Affinity, which is properly licensed. Gun control advocates, again, paid no attention to this until the NRA did it. Now they're saying this is murder insurance. Really? Idiots. Just idiots. What are they going to do? Line 3, James is with us out of Irvine, Texas. James, you got your SIG P320. Now what's going on?
Yes, sir, I did. Well, I attended my first gun show ever yesterday, and I found a used P320.
Okay.
Well, after purchasing it, I learned of the recall for the new trigger.
Right.
So I went to Get On 6 Hour's website and entered my serial number, and it gave me different links to choose. If I'm American civilian, law enforcement,
right,
excuse me, or Canadian military or law enforcement.
Okay.
Well, I'm just an American civilian,
right?
So I chose that link. Well, when I entered the serial number, it gave me this weird message that kind of gave me concern.
Okay.
It says, it seems your serial number is associated with a SIG Sauer product specific to law enforcement, government, or international programs. Please use this form to submit for your upgrade. Should that give me any concern?
Well, I don't know. Do you know who you bought it from? Do you have the address or the information of the person you bought this gun from?
Yes, sir. It's I have the gun store right here.
Okay, it's a gun store.
I have their address and I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah, it's a gun store, so it's not like an individual. So you have the information.
Yes. Yes, sir.
What I would probably do would be contact them. See, they're probably not open today. Contact them tomorrow and say, look, what's the story on this? This is what I got. What's the background? I wouldn't be real concerned about it being stolen at this point, but if you are, there is a website called Hot Guns with a Z, HOTGUNZ, hotguns.com, and you can enter a serial number there and see if it comes up stolen. But
yes, sir.
I would just go check with the gun store and say, hey, what's the story here? Because it may have come off of somebody who was in law enforcement or military who had it, who bought it. Sometimes you have an individual who's a police officer, for instance, and they can buy guns with a department letter, although it's a gun for them individually, not for the department.
Oh,
and then that person may have decided to sell the gun. So that may be what happened. And yeah, maybe you go back to SIG and they go, okay, well, that's fine. We just understand. And you may just be a little bit of contact. At the end, you may end up having to call somebody at SIG. I don't know. But I would start with the gun store just to get the lineage of it. Okay.
Yeah, that was my next step. I knew just y'all's knowledge. Y'all may have seen that or dealt with that. So I figured it's Sunday and I spent my afternoon, listening to y'all. So I figured I'd give you a call.
Well, we appreciate it. All right. Look, let us know how it works out, okay? And I appreciate the call, sir. I got to run over to line 2 for Kurt out of Milton, Florida, because Kurt is a follow-up because we had to call earlier. All right, Kurt, tell us what happened originally for those who missed your first call. This is a week or two ago.
Yeah, Tom, about 2 weeks ago, I had a lockout from my Liberty safe with the electronic faceplate.
That's right.
When you and I talked, you said, hey, chill your jets a little bit and just give them a call. Monday morning, and I called him that Monday morning and talked with Dan, and I tell you, this guy walked me back to my safe, and he says, you need a little screwdriver, and you need this and that, and he says, let's just do a thing or two, and within just a few moments, he walked me right through, and I took my faceplate off, and as soon as I moved the faceplate just a little bit, I had a little beep, and apparently a contact somehow had come loose. And he said, hey, we can fix this up. He said, let's do this. And he said, we put the battery back in, and it worked great. And he says, "Hey, what I'm doing? I'm going to send you a new faceplate just in case." And by Thursday, he had a new faceplate in the mail to me, and I was back in business within 4 days, Tom. And I just want to tell you, that is some outstanding service, and I can't say enough about Liberty Safe and you helping me out, and just talking to Dan there at Liberty Safe customer service. So it was an awesome experience.
That is great. I had a feeling these guys are going to take care of you. Every dealing I have had with them has been first rate. I mean, for years and years and years. I just feel like if you just can get them on the phone, they're going to take care of it.
Well, they did. I'll tell you, that was 100% awesome experience. So thank you.
Well, thank you for following up, because I had several people writing me and saying, whatever happened with this deal? So, Kurt, thank you. I appreciate that. Good deal. All right, let's see. Checking time here. Yep, we can do this. All right. Line 1, Tim in North Dakota. Tim, I got 1 minute. Dive into it. Go for it.
I was just curious, Tom, if anybody out there is shooting hunting with the old 30-30 Ockley improved in the 26-inch barrel configuration.
Ooh, a 30-30 Ackley improved. You have one?
Yes, I have one chambered in the Winchester 94 Classic. That's with the 26-inch, octagon barrel. Yeah.
Nice. What a nice rifle.
It shoots very nice. My nephew's going to use it this fall to hunt deer up here in North Dakota. So.
Well, that ought to work just fine. That's an excellent car. A 30-30 is no slouch, and then you do an Ackley improved, you're going to get some more velocity out of it. Are you hand loading for it?
Yes, we are, and what we're using is Nosler's combined technology bullet, and where he's going to single load it. I told him you need to practice on accuracy rather than filling the magazine, which it won't do it with that bullet anyway. So he's gonna select his shot and take his shot.
That is perfect. That is a great story, Tim. I appreciate that. Basically, it's making it a single shot, putting the restriction on you, because, as you said, with that load, it's not going to feed anyway. So that is perfect. And also, you don't want to be stacking pointed bullets in a tubular magazine. So great concept, good idea. I love it. What are you hunting with? What are you shooting? And what have you been buying? Like to get those range reports. Also, have you introduced somebody to the shooting sports recently? 866-TALK-GUN.
Sign up for our Gun Talk newsletter and join the Truth Squad at www.guntalk.com. Now, back to Gun Talk with Washington Times opinion page regular contributor Tom Gresham.
All right, back with you. Just got a good email from Mike. It's a pretty good safety piece of information, I think. He says he knows this from personal experience. And I was talking earlier about using the Blink camera system when I'm traveling, and I get an alert, I get a notification if it sees something, to get the motion detection, and a lot of people have things like that. He says, remind folks to get the landline phone number for their local police department and fire department. Calling from cell phones outside your local area may not be able to reach your local police department. The mobile 911 responding to your cell call may not be able to connect you to your local home department. He says, I know from personal experience. The point being that if you're traveling, you're in a different part of the country, you call 911, you get the local 911. Well, you say, yeah, but I live in Albany, Georgia. I say, well, we can't help you with that. You need to have in your phone, in your contact list, the regular, not 911, but the actual direct phone number to your local police department and fire department. And Mike, I had not thought of that. I had not done that, but it is just a brilliant idea. Yeah, and there are non-emergency numbers for your local PD, and you ought to have that as well. But if they have an emergency number that's not 911, you should have that in there too. I would certainly, that's a great idea for all of us to have that information for your local police department and your fire department, have those numbers in there. All right, good deal. Let's go to line 2. Eric's with us out of Wichita, Kansas. Eric, you're on Gun Talk. What's on your mind?
Hey, first off, just a thanks to you, and you got quite a talent. Your story about hunting in Idaho, about what you're really hunting for, that gave me an out-of-body experience. I know that area well, one of my favorite places in the country, and what a good telling. So just thanks for that. That was maybe something you need to put out there and sell. It was great.
Well, thank you.
But I could see it. And I got a little bit of a range report, a little different than usual. I picked up a Cobra Tech automatic knife at a gun show a few weeks ago. Mm-hmm. It's an OTF, which is like, I guess we used to call them stilettos. Very nice tool. I'm a remodeler, self-employed. I use knives a lot for screwdrivers and digging stuff out. It's just
all the things we're not supposed to use a knife for, right?
Right. And this thing is so handy. I'm taking a $75 knife and doing stuff I shouldn't be doing with it. But the blade locks so solid, and it is so convenient to use with the automatic out front presentation of the blade. And a lot of people I show that to were in Kansas going, wow, that's illegal. No. You look at knife rights, look at the maps. There's a map right in the box with that shows you where it's legal. But great piece of machinery.
All right, explain if you would, because I know there are people who are saying, okay, I don't get it. Why? And now, for those who are thinking, what is an automatic knife? An automatic knife is one where you push a button and the blade comes out, commonly referred to as a switchblade. But in this case, this is not, the blade doesn't swing. Does it come straight out of the handle, kind of like lunges forward?
Yeah, the OTF is what they call it, is out the front.
Out the front, OTF, okay.
Yeah. And it has a safety. I carry it in my pocket. It's got a pocket clip. And I asked the folks, I said, what if I bump this thing? The blade comes out in my pocket. Well, if it meets any resistance at all, it disconnects. It won't go any further. It's loose. You got to snap it to get it locked into place.
So it won't like stab something or somebody if you just push the button. It doesn't have that kind of spring power.
No, but when it's locked, they've got a video where there's, not that you would do this, where they're stabbing it through car hoods and sawing tires off and showing it doesn't hurt the mechanism. Well, plus, it's got a glass breaker on the back.
Okay, and the point of this is that when you're working, you're holding on to something. Usually you're holding on to something that you want to cut or pry or screw, and you don't want to let go of it. So you reach in your pocket, you pull the knife out, and you just hit a button, and now you've got the blade. You cut or pry or screw it. You hit the button again, the blade drops back into the handle, you stick it back in your pocket. It all happened one-handed, right?
Correct.
Well, that's the whole deal. And I'm just going to tell you, I appreciate you mentioning knife rights, because that's who is responsible for getting rid of a lot of these archaic switchblade and gravity knife laws in the various states. And you're right, you go to kniferights.org, and you can see what the knife laws are in your state and where you can get an automatic knife. It's a great idea. And, one of the things that's happening is because it's now legal in so many places, the prices are coming down. I mean, whereas you might have been paying $200 or $300 for an automatic knife a few years ago, as you say, now you can get it for under $100.
Right.
Great range report. I appreciate that, sir. Again, thank you for that. And thank you for the kind words. All right, we're going to take a quick break here. 866-TALK-GUN gets you in. I'm Tom Gresham, and this is Gun Talk.
Want your next gun purchase to be fast and hassle-free? Well, at galleryofguns.com, you can search through thousands of models from our huge firearms inventory. Find a great offer from a local dealer that includes all fees and taxes. And there's no need to arrange a transfer. Gallery of Guns takes a small deposit on your credit card, and your gun will be at your chosen dealer in as little as 48 hours. Plus, your gun will be covered by our guaranteed lifetime replacement warranty. GalleryofGuns.com. Search, find, buy. It really is just that easy.
Why do hunters and shooters love the Ruger American Rifle? With right-handed and left-handed versions, all-weather, Magnum, Compact, Predator, Ranch, and Scope package options, there's a Ruger American for everyone. Lightweight with an adjustable trigger and minute of angle accuracy, Ruger American rifles pack in the features. Is the Ruger American the best rifle on the market? See for yourself at your local retailer or at Ruger.com. That's Ruger.com.
If you're like me, you don't have money to burn, but you still want to buy guns, ammo, and accessories. That's why we created Gun Dealio. That's a free, yes, a free smartphone app. Just download it and start getting the deals. Could be discounts, offers of free magazines for your gun, or you could be the first to hear about new stuff from gun makers. Here's how it works. With Gun Dealio on your phone, you get alerts when you enter a gun store. Special deals, you know. You don't have to do a thing. It'll do a lot of other cool things, like let you watch gun videos and listen to Gun Talk podcast. Plus, check it anytime for hundreds of deals and offers. Getting more while spending less. Smart, huh? Gun Dealio. Made in America. Gluten-free. At the App Store and Google Play or gundealio.com.
Smith & Wesson brings 10 years of development to your holster with the new enhanced M&P M2.0 semi-auto pistol. In 9, 40, and 45 with a crisp and lighter trigger pull, the M2.0 has aggressive texture for a great grip, extended stainless steel chassis for rigidity, and 4 palm swell grip inserts for a perfect fit. The remarkable M&P, even better in version 2.0. See it at smith-wesson.com.
The Black Hills. There's nothing like it on Earth. The kind of place where characters become legends. Wild Bill Hickok, Crazy Horse, Calamity Jane. Pick any part of the world and you'll find people go there to make it their own. But this is where people come to get made. This is the place that made the people who make the best ammo on Earth. Black Hills Ammunition.
Back with you, Tom Gresham. It's the number's very easy. Just dial Tom Talk Gun, and you can get in here. We'll talk about the guns that you have, the guns you want, and if you're looking for permission to buy a gun, I'm your guy. Give me a call. Line 3, Steve's with us out of Pennsylvania. Steve, we talked about buying a gun. Is this a good time?
Yes, this is a very good time. I'll give you an example. I saw at CDNN they have an M4 style AR kit, everything but the strip lower for $299. Then I saw in Sportsman Guide they have an Anderson lower for $40. So you're talking, yeah, $340. You put the transfer and the shipping on that, you're in an AR for under $400.
And that's where we are now. And you know, in the $400, and frankly, in the $400 to $650 range, there are dozens and dozens of models available. Some that you have to build, and some that you can just buy ready to go out the door.
Sure,
it's a crazy time.
It's because everybody and their brothers are making ARs now, so it's competition. There's the free market for you.
Gotta love it.
But the funny thing is it used to be that the ARs were very expensive, and you can buy the AK patterns really cheap. Now the AKs are $600 and up.
Yeah, exactly. So what have you been buying?
Let me see. I bought an AR kit not too long ago and put together a long-range rifle with a heavy barrel, a Lothar Walther barrel on it, and so I shoot the like a 1-in-7 twist. So I can shoot the heavier bullets. Right. And I'm getting another strip lower and just getting the lower kit for it to put my 22 upper on it. Why should I switch it around when everything's so cheap? I might as well just have it ready to go.
I'm with you. Hey, Steve, great information. Thanks a lot. I appreciate the call. Line 1, John's in Fargo, North Dakota. John, let's talk about rights.
Good afternoon, Tom. And as usual, you are spot on, my friend.
How's that?
The elections are coming up in just under a year. Well, just over a year, pardon me.
Mm-hmm.
And when you talk about, the 49ers and the Los Angeles Police Department, we're all about your Second Amendment rights. But we have Tom Campbell up here in North Dakota, who's a Republican, and he's going to make a run at Heidi Heitkamp, the Democrat. And I cornered him the other day on a radio show about national CCW reciprocity. And he led off with the exact mantra, I'm all for the Second Amendment. I'm an avid hunter, and I'm a constitutionalist. But I feel that concealed carry should be left up to the individual states. So where does that set me with my gun rights?
Well, what you do is if you don't have a great choice there, and you're thinking, well, I don't like that, but I certainly don't like the other one, then you go back to him and say, all right, we need to do a little explaining here, because my choice is now between voting for you or going hunting and not voting at all. And your answer that you gave so far means I'm going to be out at the range that day, or I'm going to be hunting, and I'm not going to vote at all, because I couldn't possibly pull the lever for somebody that wants to restrict gun rights the way you do. And I throw it back at him and throw it in his face and go to every town meeting until he gets the idea that, oh, my God, this is actually backfiring on me. My handlers were wrong. My advisors were wrong. They were stupid, and I got to change.
And you're probably right with that, Tom, but, you know, what concerns me about people like him is, you know, they come out with the mantra that, well, I'm not like the current person in office who's being inactive on pursuing our gun rights, even though, again, she's all about the Second Amendment. And
they're all about the Second Amendment.
People need to really pay attention to these people.
Hillary Clinton she's all in favor of the Second Amendment, except for the parts that she wants to wipe out, which is most of it. You know, I believe in the Second Amendment, but and the one you really have to watch out for, and you said it, is I'm a lifelong hunter, but, you know, the Second Amendment has nothing to do with hunting. So when they start with that, my antenna go up immediately and going, okay, this is going to be a problem here.
Exactly, sir. You have a good afternoon, Tom.
All right, thanks for the call. Appreciate that. JJ's in Pensacola, Florida on 4. JJ, jump into it.
Yeah, Tom, I was looking at some pistols and at the gun shop, and the guy told me to have a decocking device. Could you explain what the purpose of that?
Sure. A decocker on a pistol is a type of mechanism. There's single action, double action, and a decocker. What that means is the first pull on your trigger is going to be a long double action pull, long and heavy. After it fires and the slide pushes the hammer back, the hammer will remain cocked, and now you will have a lighter and shorter trigger pull on subsequent shots. So the first shot is going to have a long, heavy pull. After that, you're going to have a shorter pull, and the hammer will be cocked. Here's the thing. Once the hammer is cocked, you need to get the hammer back down. And rather than try to put your thumb in front of the hammer and pull the trigger and try to catch it, what you do is you keep your finger off the trigger completely. You move the decocker down usually, and that will drop the hammer, and it makes you nervous the first time you do it, and it should. And it's like the hammer's falling, going to go off, but there is a mechanism in the gun that catches the hammer and doesn't let it hit the firing pin. But here's my thing. Whenever I do that, it makes me nervous to do it, so I always make sure I point it in a direction where, you know, if it goes off, it's going to be loud and embarrassing, but it's not going to be catastrophic.
So it won't fire when you pull it down?
Correct. When you drop the hammer, use a decocker. A decocker drops the hammer is what it does.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much, Tom.
Yeah. And then once you have dropped the hammer like that, you do not have to recock that gun to shoot it. You basically just take the safety off, and you will be firing it in double action mode. So you're going to switch it from single action to double action there. So when you drop the hammer, now a lot of decocker functions as a safety. And when you take the safety off, the hammer's down, and when you pull the trigger, it'll go into double action mode again. So that's how that works. But yeah, some people like them, other people hate them. I think it's one of those things you have to get used to. I tend to favor not decocker systems because I don't like changing from that long double action pull to the single action pull subsequently. People tell me it's a matter of training. I tell them, well, that explains a lot because my wife has said for years I am not trainable. So maybe that's what the issue is. 866-TALK-GUN. We'll be right back. All right, can't go any further without at least mentioning this. John Snyder, long known as a champion of the Second Amendment, passed away October 22nd. He was 79 years old. He was a veteran of the gun rights battle. I knew John. He was actually dubbed by one of the Washington papers, I think, the Dean of Washington Gun Lobbyists. And he wore that moniker proudly, I got to tell you. He was a longtime lobbyist. He worked with the Citizens Committee for the Right to Keep and Bear Arms and the Second Amendment Foundation. He was an author. He was editor of the publication Point Blank. What I didn't know, he was also an editor at the NRA in one of their magazines, the American Rifleman, which a lot of you know. So, but one of the cooler things he did was he was founder and chairman of the St. Gabriel Pocenti Society, which considered Pocenti the patron saint of handgunners. He actually authored a book about that called, it was titled Gun Saint. It's pretty cool. So John Snyder, one of the giants of the gun rights movement. All righty, let's see. Lee, line 2 in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Lee, what's with your Ruger Mini 14?
Oh, I broke the ejector, the bolt.
Oh, okay.
And I have a problem. I called Ruger, and I talked to a representative here at the Tulsa Gun Show, and he said he would replace the barrel and the whole action. But I have a small collection of Ruger bicentennials, handguns, and the rifles.
It's got all that stuff written on the barrel, right?
Yes, and that's what I want to keep because it messes up my collection if I don't have it. So, how do I go about replacing that bolt or having it repaired?
Okay, here's what I would do. I know you talked to a representative. I would call Ruger directly and talk to somebody at the company and say, look, this is what I got. Obviously, I want to keep the barrel because the whole deal is this is a collectible and it's my bicentennial collection. What can we do? And see what they can do to help you out. If that fails, although I think it's going to work, obviously a little bit more expensive. One of the things you could do would be to get another Mini 14 from a similar era because I know they've changed the parts since then. And you could pull the bolt out of that. It's pricey, but it might be a way to go.
Yeah. I have a good friend that is a superior welder. He welded 2 single-edge razor blades together at the point one time and showed them to me. And I'm wondering if there's any way possible that I could re-weld that bolt where it would be satisfactory.
Maybe. I don't know if it's going to do anything to the collector value, but if you're not going to sell them, it doesn't much matter. I don't think it would, actually. You know what? You could ask him about it, but I would start. I'm going to start with Ruger. Contact them and say, guys, this is what I got. What can we do? And see if they can do something for you. Sometimes they'll say, yeah, we understand that, and we might be able to find what you need in the back here. And then they'll end up with, hey, and don't tell anybody about it. One of those deals. All right. I wish you luck with it. Thank you for the call. Brownells is another option, of course. Brownells.com. They may have something, or you can poke around, find something. I bet it'll work out. By the way, if you're on hold right now, don't go anywhere. We're going to get you into the after show. So we'll hold you over for that. If you have not heard the after show, shame on you. It's a thing we do. It goes out as a podcast, part of our podcast, where a bunch of us here just kind of get together and shoot the breeze, and it's lots of fun. Best way to hear the after show, as well as any shows you miss, is through the Gun Dealio app on your smartphone. The app is free, Gun Dealio, because you can listen to the whole show. And if you miss one, don't worry about it. You can always pick it up later. In the meantime, I would encourage you to go out and do a little shooting this week. Maybe buy a gun. Encourage somebody to get involved in self-protection, self-defense. Take care of your family. And check your 6. Oh, yeah, and always carry.